Hey, what's going on YouTube? Pathz here, back with another video, and in today's video, I'm gonna talk about Sentinels, baby. And guess what? Sentinels are fucking back. Book your tickets to Tokyo. I'll see y'all there in Japan, because Sentinels are fucking back, baby. We're gonna recap Valorant Super Week, where Sentinels played against two Brazilian teams this past weekend. They played against Loud on Friday, and they played against MIBR yesterday. Now, I wanted to make a video right after that MIBR match and go fucking nuts and just speak purely from my raw emotions, but I didn't want to give any reactionary takes. So, I took the night to sleep. I woke up, it's Monday now, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on Sentinels and what they should do moving forward in order to qualify for Masters Tokyo and in order to end off the season, because we're at the halfway point now. In order to finish the second half stronger, the second half will be greater than the first half. I guarantee you guys that. Now, before we get started in today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any more Valorant content. First up, let's talk about the Loud match. The Loud match was really close. We made the champions bleed. Sentinels had a chance to sneak it out. It was super close on the second map of Haven. It was 13-11. Loud made that late push in order to win that map and force a map 3, but it was very close. From what I said in my last video came to be true. TenZ was sick, so Kaplan said, yo, TenZ, you're out. Marved is in, baby, and Marved had an excellent debut. On map 1, we saw Marved come in really hot. He was completely fucking shit up like he never left. We saw Zekin take up the duelist role, and credit to Zekin, man. I mean, Zekin has just been getting better week by week, and he finally takes this jet entry role, and he did beautifully. Besides Marved and Zekin playing great, we saw Saucy switch back to that initiator role that he is very comfortable with. And hey man, at the end of the day, when it comes to Valorant, you can either play that agent or you can't play that agent, right? You want to have the players on the agent that they're most comfortable with, because they're going to dominate with that character, right? So Saucy on the initiator, it is clear that he should be on that initiator role for the rest of the season. And obviously, in map 3, we fall off to Loud. Honestly, it kind of looked really bad. It almost looked like a bad ass whooping, but I will give Sentinels credit. Sentinels could have just quit and take the 13-4, but nah, Sentinels fought back. They won 4 more rounds in a row to bring it up to 8, and it made, Loud take a timeout. They started sweating a little bit. They started being like, yo, let's not throw like we did versus Fnatic, right? So Sentinels got the dog in them. They won 4 more rounds. Yeah, they ended up losing the map, but they showed that they got dog in them. Like, I want to give so much credit to the staff and the players, because instead of making excuses of, oh, we got Marved subbing in late, he only got 2 scrims to practice, oh, Kaplan's a new coach, oh, we're going against world champs, they're much better than us, much more experienced than us. Instead of Sentinels making excuses, they showed up and fucking performed. Versus the Loud match, it was the best they played. And then against MIBR, they topped that even better. It was absolute perfection versus MIBR. Now, I will say one final note on the Loud match. If Def carried his weight just a little bit, like literally just a little bit, we guaranteed 2-0 Loud. But Def played absolute dog shit versus Loud. I was ready to fucking get on him again, because fucking Def be looking like a diamond player sometimes. I'm sorry, but sometimes Def be looking like a diamond player. But at the end of the day, Aspas is just too fucking good, and that's why they ended up winning out that match. Barely, but they won it out. For the second match of Valorant Super Week, Sentinels went against MIBR, another Brazilian team. And guys, I'm gonna let you know right now, this match was absolutely beautiful. If you're a Sentinels fan, I know you're fucking happy, because if you saw this match, you saw a Marved masterclass. You saw a Def masterclass. Someone who's been under the hot seat because he's been playing ass all season, but Def just came out here and he performed his career best, I'd say, right? He performed beautifully this match. Pearl was the first map. It definitely looked a lot more competitive than the second map on Fracture, but you saw Sentinels win 13-5. Again, Marved with a masterclass. Saucy with a masterclass. Zekin, the KDA doesn't tell the whole story, because if you look at this tweet by Will Minder, what do you see here? Duelist Zekin is winning 61% of his first duels. On round 3 on Pearl, there was an entry by Zekin where he pushed up to, I believe it was A site secret, right, on Pearl. That little cubby, that little secret area. Zekin pushed up, but instead of staying in that position to die, He was getting dogged out, and what did he do? He repositioned backwards instead of overextending to get either traded or to just get killed for no value. That is why I like Zekken. So what happened? When Zekken backed up, he got killed, but Def was right there. And he got a 2K or a 3K that round. That was round 3 of Pearl. You guys can check that out. And that's absolutely why I love Zekken as an entry duelist and that entry fragger, because he is winning, again, 61% of his first duels. And if you're a duelist, what's your job? Your job is to entry on site and to get that first blood every single time. And Zekken is showing a lot of value on that duelist role. When you come to Fracture, it was an absolute fucking wipe. I mean, it was 6-13 on Fracture and 5-13 on Pearl, but Fracture was just a wipe, right? I'm gonna be honest, Fracture was just a wipe. It was a Marved masterclass. Again, another Zekken masterclass, another saucy masterclass, and Def on the Fracture map, he won like 3 1v1s on that map, right? But that's not why I give him credit. The play calling was beautiful. The mid-round calls were beautiful. His mechanics, beautiful. It was a lot more fundamental, right? He wasn't out here looking like a diamond player, like spraying all over the place. Nah, he looked a lot more calm, a lot more poised, a lot more level-headed. Honestly, that's all we want as Sentinels fans from Def. We just want him to be level-headed, right? He wasn't too high, he wasn't too low. Against MIBR, he looked focused, he looked calm, his calls were on point, and when he needed to step up, he stepped up. So shout out to Def, because that was a masterclass. Shout out to Zekken, that was a masterclass. Shout out to Saucy, beautiful change back into Initiator, a masterclass. And of course, Marved, if you thought he looked good versus Loud, he looked fucking like one of the best players in the entire league versus MIBR, period. Now I want to speak on the hot topic of TenZ. The Sentinels' next match is versus Cloud9. Cloud9 is currently the best team in NA. Cloud9 just beat NRG, and NRG is the team that absolutely destroyed Sentinels when TenZ was playing his career worst. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, this is my opinion. TenZ should not return versus C9. It is a lose-lose situation. If you bring back TenZ and bench Marved or even Def, the fans are gonna be disappointed, because the fans just saw Sentinels play their best all season versus Loud and versus MIBR. So the fans are going to be like, why are we going to disrupt the lineup and disrupt the chemistry when we just played our best this entire season that we saw, right? So that's the first loss. And if TenZ is subbed back in versus Cloud9 and they lose that match, bro, all of the expectations for TenZ will be at the highest versus this Cloud9 match. So if they lose that matchup, who are they going to shit on worse than ever? On TenZ, right? So in my opinion, TenZ should not come back versus the Cloud9 match. I believe he needs a tune-up match. You bring him back versus EG, who are one of the worst teams in the entire league. Bring back TenZ versus EG as a tune-up match. It's going to be easy for him. He's going to perform great, and all the fans are going to support him and love him again. Sentinels fans and TenZ fans alike. So bring him back versus EG as a tune-up match, but do not change the lineup for Cloud9. Keep this exact same team, because that is going to be a mega match, and that is a match that we want to win. Not for just the morale, but also for the season and for qualifying for Tokyo. But again, that is just simply my opinion. At the end of the day, I feel like the final decision is going to be up to Rob Moore, the Sentinel CEO. I don't even think the final decision is going to be up to Kaplan. I think it's going to be up to Rob Moore whether they bring back TenZ for the next match or not. But in my opinion, do not bring him back versus Cloud9. Bring him back versus EG. Other than that, I am super happy with how Sentinels played. It was a very entertaining watch. They definitely made my weekend. And I'm very excited for the future of Sentinels and how they will finish the second half. Now, obviously, the second half will be better than the first half. So I am counting that they will finish these last 4 games really, really well. But what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think about Marved? What do you think about TenZ? Do they bring him back? What do you think about Saucy and the Initiator? Who do you think is a better duelist so far from what you've seen? Zekken as the duelist or TenZ as the duelist? Let me know all of your hot takes in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll update you after the Cloud9 mega match. And I'll see you guys next week.